Alright then YouTube, so gonna come back and do another little sort of mini tutorial here. Mainly just go over a track that I'm building at the moment because some people want to see how I make it from scratch, and this one's sort of still quite early on. So yeah, I mean there's a few things here to start with. It's quite a basic song. It's more sort of 808y, quite a booming bass, and it's not really dubsteppy, it's kind of breakbeaty, so I don't know. It's a little bit different. But at the moment I'm writing an album. Probably by the time I post this on YouTube, the album probably might be out, but yeah, I'm a little bit slow on the old uptake. Let's get into this. I'm just going to preview a few things that are going on, and I'll play it from the beginning. Just a note, I've got a limiter on the master, but that's just to stop it distorting on the recording because, yeah, I don't think YouTube handles audio very well, so I'm just trying to make it as good as I can. Don't normally produce with a limiter on. Oh. That was the EVP88 there. Nice Suitcase Roads. Ooh. Let's get into this. I'm going to arrange this a bit better. I'm actually going to take that out until this other little bar here. Excuse me while I burp. I'm also going to turn up some of these hats because they're a little bit quiet. Okay, that's odd. Okay, so I've got that little thingy on the go. Fucking hell, computer's lagging loads. That's the one. It's nice, some sort of Latin percussion that I picked up. It's going to a reverb that I set up for percussion. There's a few things feeding into that. That's actually quite a good way to go about making music. If you want to make like one concise track, instead of using a reverb on each track individually, I tend to set up like 3 or 4 reverbs. One really long one, one medium, one short, and one sort of ambient. And that way, you can feed different instruments into these reverbs and it will sound like it's in the same space instead of multiple reverbs that don't really fit together. Same with delays. That's actually kind of an old school trick because that's how they used to do it in sort of analog studios rather than in the box. You would only have 3 or 4 reverbs and you'd actually send, like on here, like on the sends here, an amount of something to that reverb and then it will return onto a track, which we have here, which are auxiliaries. So you can imagine these channels here would actually be return tracks on your mixer, you know, on your big consoles. I like that, consoles. Right, okay, so let's take this part a bit. I've got an 808, which I've sort of customed. You can hear there's like a little top kick if I play it all the way through here. Right, because the 808 on its own, for my personal taste, is just a little bit dry. It doesn't really sort of slap enough for me, but that's because I'm used to quite hard hitting beats, the likes of like Noisia, Cone Sound, that sort of stuff. So I've added some to my taste. It's just a kick, which I've EQ'd out all the bass, obviously, with a filter. Without it, it's actually quite a subby little kick. Taking all that out, layered it on top of the 808. which doesn't have any EQ on. It's completely raw. These sends here, that's an automated reverb. That one there is a sidechain bus that I've set up for triggering other stuff. But as it is, it's a complete straight up 808, which I've added some amp envelope to shape it in my way. I've also added a little bit of drive here with the filter. If I turn that off and on again, it just makes it a bit more round, a little bit lovely. And here, the next thing down, I'm just going to go down this track by track, I think. Oh, these are some sort of like offbeat kicks. I've chosen quite a crunchy, distorted sounding. Where is he? Yeah. So this is running through an EQ, taking off some of the sub bass, boost it about 100 Hz. Then using camel fat, which I really like. I don't use any of this, but the distortion side, I don't know why. I've always stuck to it. I quite like it. And I've got the excellent Leisure compressor, which is my favourite compressor. It's fucking amazing. It's really versatile, but it's also specifically slamming on drums. You can do so much with it. Right, and these have got buster set up as well. That's a kick sidechain channel. And for some reason I've got another one. I don't know. It just works. So with these, oh, I need to take it off so there. These two together, little offbeat. And oh, that's a little clappy clap. So all these together are the foundation of the main beat. And then below this, these should come next really, instead of all this here. But it's just the way I've done it. That, I think I played you before. I've EQ'd out some pretty nasty resonant. You hear that? Just on the top end, there's a real horrible little sound. Really irritating, so I've taken that out. And this is just another loop. I've done quite a lot to this actually. I'll take it all off. Pretty simple. I've EQ'd out some of the horrible little sort of shaky, hatty things that I didn't really want because it's crowding it. Bit of tube tape, bit of compression, sort of squish it all out. Vintage warmer, I've added some nice little sort of saturation to it. What have I done next? I think I added some spreader, yeah, to make it spread right out. This is my new favourite plugin. It's by Melder. I bought it just last week and it's called the Melder Dynamic EQ. And basically it's an EQ that each EQ sort of part of it here, if I activate one here, it's also got a compressor and expander built onto each one of these sort of EQ bands. So right on here I've got an expander on this frequency, that weird woodblock sound that I quite like. And then I've taken out some of those shaky hats again. On top of this, I think I put another weird sample delay, just for fun, just because I can. I've got another snare. That's more of like an old schooly sort of, I don't know, more of a dark sound, more of a tonnage sort of snare. It's got a stereo delay, with that off. It's just a very short, snappy sample. Put that on. It was a very, very short delay, it might turn up a little bit. And that's a Logic stereo delay. And I've got the left and right cross-feeding to each another, so these are actually at different times. So when the delay comes through here, what's that? That's like, I think that's quarter notes, I think. Basically, that will then feed back into this one, which has been delayed at another tempo, and vice versa. So that will go into that one, that will go into that one. And that's also filtered, so the delay's filtered. Yeah, self-explanatory really. There we are. It's subtle, but it works.